I haven't got time to mark this motherfucker. Here we go again. We can't hear anybody. Nobody can talk to anybody.
You guessed it, Pressure Points with your two favorite hosts. I'm D, and this is my cute little sparkling ice water AJ. We're coming at you with Season 6, Episode 2, The Pornstar President. I'm talking about Indonesia. I'm talking about the Cold War, so strap in and get ready. Find us on Instagram at PointSoPressure.
Well, turn the fucking thing off, you dumbass.
Did you know that I'm actually Indonesian?
Like what percentage?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Less than 1.
This is actually our announcement for AJ for president in 2024.
Yeah. I don't know if you knew this, but my side hustle. I think they call
being a
it that.
political prisoner.
I put another another meaning to rise and grind.
Oh shit! Well, welcome back.
Welcome.
We made it.
It feels like it's been a while.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
that's weird.
More than a week, but it's only been
It's been a long
fucking
week.
Yeah.
Replace my brakes. Replace the brake line that we broke. that I broke. Lots of school. Got a clinical tomorrow. Had a simulation on Friday. It's been busy.
Yeah, it's been a fucking wild week.
Yeah. How have you been doing?
Good. Yeah, doing all right. Just taking it easy, one day at a time, man.
Hell yeah. How's your new boss?
Pretty good. So met him, and he goes, we were just kind of talking about our interests and everything, and he's like, oh yeah, I also like playing video games. I'm currently on my 12th playthrough of Elden Ring. And I was like, did you say 12th? And he's like, yeah. So I put
What
two
the
and two
fuck?
together, and I realized that the dude's definitely fucking playing during work time, because there's no way that since February 2022
I was going to say, when did it come out?
to now, you
it's
could get that many fucking hours in
so
to
less than a
play
year.
12.
11.
Yeah, basically 11 months he's gotten 12 playthroughs. So each
How
month
many
he's
hours is
getting
the game?
one
I'm
full
looking it up.
playthrough. I don't know.
How long does
But yeah,
Elden
I was like,
Ring-
yeah, dude's definitely fucking playing during work time. So I'm good.
Homeboy has to be. Okay, let's
yeah.
see. 30 hours if you're a speedrunner. 40 to 60 just for the main campaign.
Jesus.
So if he's a
easily
completionist,
more,
it's going to
yeah.
take more. So 60 times 12,
720 hours of Elden Ring.
720 hours in 11 months.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, yeah, dude's
Holy shit.
pulling a cheese like I am.
Yeah,
so
he
fuck
knows
yeah.
he knows exactly
Yeah.
what to expect. That's when you got to slide in and say, "Yeah, this is my 12th
My side
playthrough
job."
of RimWorld in Tarkov."
Oh shit!
That's
so yeah,
great. Hey, that's good to
it's
hear,
good,
though.
Yeah. He didn't even bring up like times or anything, so
Yeah.
there is a chance that I might be able to do what I've always wanted to do, and that's do all of the work of my day in the first like hour and a half of my shift, and then do absolutely nothing the rest. So we'll find out.
Oh,
We'll
that
find
would be so
out, because
good.
if I can do that, I'm gonna be on easy street.
Damn, I did that on Saturday, so I now have to work full time on Saturday, which sucks.
Ugh.
Just because of my classes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But on Saturday, like, we're kind of done with stuff. You know, it's the end of the week. People, like, we just don't have a lot to do. So I go around. I usually steal stuff from your girlfriend. A lot of stuff, her activities, and just complete them. And I did all of mine with 3 hours left on my shift. And I didn't do anything left the rest of the time. And now I'm just going to sit there, like, see if I hear anything back. And if I don't, I'm doing the same thing next Saturday.
Same way. It's the fucking
I'm
easiest
gonna
way
do
to
it
do
4
it. man.
hours.
Yeah.
And it's like, they really shouldn't be upset because I'm getting their
Yeah.
work and their expectations done.
I fully agree.
And, you know, some days I can do it quick. Sometimes I can't. And,
Fuck
you
'em.
know, until if they're going to pay me to do the minimum every day, if I'm going to double that in a day, they got to pay me double.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Good fucking luck with that company.
Yeah,
though.
right.
Oh shit. Well, I'm glad that the crazy fucking week is over for you.
Thank goodness. But who knows, this next week is going to be that sim lab that I had on Friday. Technically, it's taking the place of one of the clinicals.
Oh, okay.
But I still have to do all the clinical paperwork.
Oof.
and I've got the clinical on Monday. So I'm gonna have 2 sets of clinical
Jesus.
paperwork due by by Friday.
God damn. You got this. I believe in you.
I gotta
I promise.
gotta take a deep breath.
How about this? I promise that tonight I will not go cut your brake lines again.
Oh,
okay?
thank you.
I
Thank
won't
you.
do it.
We're
I won't
set.
do it this time.
Good. You just wait until Tuesday.
Yeah,
When I go to school.
just don't look at your will where it's your wife's name crossed out and it's mine signed above it
Perfect.
to take over the house.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Don't worry about
I
it.
actually
I'll
left.
switch them back.
The lawyer said it would be a real problem to leave my will blank under beneficiaries and just have a line that you
Just-
fill
yeah,
in.
one line.
But I don't see any problems with that. I'm sure that wouldn't cause any
I swear it's
issues.
still blank. I
Yeah, I'm
promise.
sure it is.
If you check it tomorrow when you get back from your clinical, it will be blank. Just don't look at it tonight.
Yeah, okay, deal. I can do that.
Oh shit! So
Oh.
the Pornstar president. I'm sure you've been fucking waiting.
Oh, I'm ready. Is it? I'm going to be, standard American. Is it a male president?
Yes.
Okay.
So-
Do you know the specifications of certain body parts of this
No, I
president?
don't find those out, unfortunately.
Can we look it up?
You might be.
Was it
able
a
to.
public? Like, can we find the videos?
I doubt it. I highly
Okay,
doubt it.
we'll see. I might
Yeah.
try.
Yeah, we'll see. So, look it up after so you don't find anything.
Oh yeah.
fucking too spoily. So
Spoily.
I'm gonna do a quick rundown. The independence of Indonesia is a fucking mess. It's basically the Yugoslavian Civil War that I talked
Yeah.
about. It's an episode in and of itself. And everything that Sukarno went through and did, fucking crazy. I'm not going to cover it in this episode because I found it like 4 hours ago. I was like, this is like 8 hours of work. So a lot of this is going to sound jumpy as shit. It's okay. But I will be covering Sukarno's like come up and everything that happens after this. Probably in a couple future episodes. Not even probably. I will be covering them because it's really fucking interesting. So, Sukarno had studied political philosophy from all over the world when he was just a kid. Super smart kid. He went into like boarding school and just found a mentor that was like, oh, I'll teach you everything about politics from all over the world. And he was like, hell yeah.
Let's do it.
Now, he finishes school and everything, and he's put in power of the Indonesian National Party in 1927, and his whole goal is uniting all of Indonesia. Now,
All right, that's a big goal.
Indonesia at the time was under the control of it was under Dutch colonial rule.
Yeah, good old colonialism.
Good old Netherlands. Holland,
you
Holland
know-
at the time, I think is what they went by. I don't know.
I'm gonna fuck this up, but there are only 2 things I hate in this world. It's people who judge others based on what does he say? That judge other people based on where they come from, and the Dutch.
And the Dutch. Yeah, God damn it. So, fuck the Dutch in all honesty. In all honesty in this. So, I don't know all of the details yet on how the Dutch were governing everything. I just know that it's colonial rule, so it's not going to be benefiting the indigenous people of the area.
Yeah,
This is a
100%. It's a tool to enrich the
safe fucking assumption here.
We can assume that.
So, if I'm wrong, correct me. I'm not worried about it. So, Sukarno he's starting to have his explosion. He's showing up in 1927, and the Nationalist Party that he's with, I think it was called the PPIK or PPNK, they're kind of seen as enemies of the state because they're more or less like an anti-Dutch group. They're an anti-ruler group. They're just fucking the rebels, more or less.
Yeah.
And so Sukarno's deemed enemy of the state.
Of course.
He gets imprisoned, and I think 2 years later, he's exiled. Now, over the next 13 years, a bunch of crazy shit happens with like his trial and everything. But in 1942, Japan ends up defeating the Dutch and takes control of Indonesia.
Okay.
In a massive fucking war. Not going to talk about it. Japan realizes that Sukarno he's one, been exiled, and two, he's what the Indonesian people wanted.
Which is why he was exiled.
Yeah. So they realize, we can use him for the restructure of Indonesia, and Japan's approach is so that Sukarno help with the unrest. Like, obviously, when things are up and up, when the government changes,
there's a power.
Yeah, they're
vacuum.
going from a colonial rule to an imperial rule.
Well,
it's
yeah,
not a
I
great
guess there's
situation. So they put him in as like a figurehead.
Okay.
And
Well, that's something.
their whole approach, their approach is like, get these people to chill out, get the Indonesians to like follow our rule of law, more or less. And he's like, okay.
Yeah.
And then
Wink.
huge wink, and he's like, I'm going to unite all of them together is my literal fucking plan.
Hell yeah.
And so he starts kind of pushing independence. Now, this is 1942 in Japan. They're not really super focused on what the fuck is going on in Indonesia.
Yeah.
They have bigger fish that they're currently frying in China, literally. Also, their kids.
Yeah.
It's fucking bad. Japan's up to some really bad shit.
Oh, yeah.
They don't give a fuck what's going on in Indonesia. And it was literally just a way of showing power. They're like, we'll expand outwards. We have Indonesia now. Fuck everybody. Look how tough we are.
Yeah, and it's not like the Dutch could go down and
Yeah.
defend Indonesia because, Hitler.
And it's kind of hard to go through like war fields when you're in wooden boots, wooden clogs.
Yeah, wooden shoes, yeah. They don't have very much buoyancy. It's hard to go across the ocean.
Our Dutch numbers are going to be at all-time zero.
Or they'll be bigger. They'll be like, wow, listen to these
They're
idiots.
like, yeah, these fucking morons.
Yeah, and it really sucks because all their battleships were made out of chocolate.
Jesus Christ.
Those are the only two things I know about the Dutch. That is the extent of my education. I've got nothing more to add.
Jesus.
Wooden shoes and chocolate.
Oh, God. All right. Oh, I'm a little bit too stoned for this one.
No. You're doing great. You're doing great.
So Sukarno starts pushing independence, and in 1944 to 1945, Japan has this huge push of like, I don't remember the exact words, but it's like an anti-Western sentiment. So they're basically pumping out all of this propaganda that's anti-Western because,
Yeah.
Japan is
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah, they're fired up about fuck the U.S. currently. So, what's happening is it's kind of so the focus that this anti-Western push has to do with food. It's really fucking weird. I'll have more details in a future episode, but more or less, I think what Japan's approach is we're gonna make everything like as Eastern Pacific as possible here. Like, we don't want anything Western. So
Western
yeah,
reliance.
you guys better not be having like fucking hamburgers. You better be having
whatever.
insert
Indonesian
regular
food.
Indonesian dish.
Yeah.
So what's happening is they're taking these regular foods that people are consuming that are considered Western, and they're, one, either not importing them anymore, or two, they're like, get rid of that shit. So this is causing massive, massive famine.
Yeah.
And
No way.
around 1 million people fucking die during
Holy
this time.
shit.
It's fucking
That's bad.
Yeah. Now, this is kind of where Sukarno's like, okay, like,
All right.
fuck Japan, dude. Like, they've been doing this. You're getting rebels that are standing up and saying, we don't want to be under Japan's rule. We should be independent. This is a lot more drawn out than I expected it to be, but it's
No,
okay.
it's good,
This
it's
is
good.
a really solid
We got time,
backstory
we got
for what
time.
we're going to get into.
I'm in no rush.
So you're starting to get these smaller rebel groups that are popping up that are like, Japan can suck my fucking dick, and
Can suck my Indonesian
can
dick.
suck my Indonesian dick. I was going to say it. I just wasn't sure if I should.
I mean, why not? I think it's a valid statement.
It's fair.
I mean, I'm not saying I have an Indonesian penis.
It's like 2%.
Yeah, I have a 2%. My penis is 2% Indonesian, and you can
You can take that to
you
the
can
bank.
take that to the bank. I couldn't remember what that phrase was. You're high. I'm tired.
I know.
We're set. This is a
solid combo.
Solid, yeah.
So, rebel groups start stepping up and pressuring Sukarno to gain the independence. Sukarno's like, bro, have you seen what Japan is doing in China? No, we're gonna stray from this. So, in August 1945, something a phenomenal opportunity falls from the sky for Indonesia, and it lands in Hiroshima.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't know quite where you were going with that, and I was like, hold on, what the fuck is he talking about? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I guess that is good for Indonesia.
So Japan gets
Ooh, Japan
gets hit with an
decimated.
atomic bomb.
Oh, Jesus
And
Christ.
the next day, fucking Sukarno gets kidnapped by a youth group that sit him down and they're like,
Like the Boy Scouts?
they're basically like a youth rebel group. So like the Boy
okay,
Scouts,
okay.
but if,
The Boy Scouts,
yeah.
but weaponized.
Yeah, the Boy Scouts, but if they taught you how to use like an M60 instead of a pocket knife.
I did learn how to use like a mounted 50 cal
Yeah, there
in
you
the
go,
Boy
see?
Scouts.
So they kidnap Sukarno and they sit him down and say, if you're going to gain independence, if this is what you want, now is the time to do it. Japan is just a little bit fucking preoccupied, right?
Yeah.
So Sukarno says, you know what? You guys are right. Let's do it. And they gain their independence in fucking 1945,
Hell yeah.
like a day or two after the atomic bomb was dropped. And Sukarno is just hailed as this hero of
Didn't he?
Indonesia.
He's a hero, but he got kidnapped. But
I think a
I-
lot of
okay,
it
I
was
see.
was so that they had a platform to sit him down. They're like, hey, you're away from everything. You
Let's
don't have
talk.
your aides to push you. You don't have like,
you're not being
Like,
watched.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this is
Okay,
what we're
that
gonna
makes more
do.
sense.
So, that's the preface to this episode. Now, like I said,
That's the preface?
yeah,
Oh, no.
Dude,
This is like
pretty much
17 minutes
like
in. You're good.
1945 to 1965 in Indonesia is like, if I were to do Sukarno's life and this story and what happens after, it would be like covering all of the Revolutionary War, the entire Declaration of Independence, George Washington's life, and then being like, hey, also, I'm going to tell you about the Civil War. And I was like, bruh,
Too much.
we're going to take
Come
a
on.
step back, and I'm just going to talk about this one fucking stupid, hilarious series of events.
Perfect.
But Sukarno is monumental throughout Indonesia's history during this time. Like, I'm pretty sure he was in control from 45 to like 1966.
Damn.
I think. I could be totally wrong, but
Nah, that's all right.
he ran shit.
There,
And-
people aren't here for facts.
Yeah, right. But like I said, I do plan on talking about all of the fucking Indonesian chaos because there's a lot of shit that I didn't even know fucking happened. So, after he becomes president, over the next few years, Sukarno, he starts to make friends with communist leaders. Mind
Immediately,
you, he's
America
also,
stares at him down.
yeah, pretty much. But I mean, you got to realize, like, if you're going to gain independence during World War II and you're that close to Japan, you're stepping away from Japan's rule. You're still going to kind of be like, hey, we're not totally non-axis.
Yeah, because you're not going to be. Well, communism at that time period was ally.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, you're not going to completely distance yourself because then you're just open.
Yeah. So, the other thing is that a lot of his ideas, which bringing a broken nation together, a really grand and effective way to do it, is to utilize communism.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't go, hey, everybody, we're going to rebuild and we're going to grow together as a community.
you're on your
But
own.
all of these rich people are going to build businesses and fuck you guys.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
work for them.
It's
And
it's
people are
better to
like,
create a community of let's work together and make
Yeah.
all of our lives better.
Exactly.
Wow, that's terrible. You communist.
You
fuck.
piece of
You
shit.
piece of shit.
So, his ideas weren't fully communist, but he does lean towards communism because it's a phenomenal way of just uniting.
Yeah, uniting, bringing, and building a community.
That
and-
or getting your twin towers hit by a plane. One of those two are well, both of those are really good ways of bringing everybody together.
yeah, and one of them.
For
well,
20
no, they
years.
both in history they both completely ruined personal privacy. No matter what, they both completely just destroy it. I want to go back to when we could bring guns on planes and my checked baggage. God damn it.
Oh, fuck. Okay, so the U.S., we're hitting post-World War II at this point. This is like 50s. So the U.S. is on a grand old anti-communist, fuck the communist tirade.
Yeah, just like the communists were, getting together and building up their community, the Americans were getting together and building up their community while hunting down
To ruin
and
the
performing.
Red Wave.
Yeah, and you get the fucking Red Scare, which are essentially modern day witch trials, and you can just accuse anybody of being a communist.
Yeah, literally. You're gonna fucking love this episode. So, Indonesia at the time is the second, well, they're the largest communist party apart from the Soviet Union. They are massive. And so the U.S. realizes, hey, we have to destabilize and bring good old capitalist democracy to it because why the fuck not, apparently.
Hell yeah, we're gonna get South American all over this shit.
Right. So they're practicing what is called the domino theory, which I'm sure you know it within like the Red Scare.
Yeah.
And it's the belief that if a massive communist power falls or a communist power falls, that the neighboring and smaller countries nearby slowly follow suit. You push over the big domino, or the
rest of
first
them,
one,
yeah.
the rest will slowly get there.
Yeah, the rest don't have the
And-
supports. They don't have the cultural support
Yeah.
and monetarily from the larger government who's kind of looking over them. They no longer have that kind of protection.
Kind of helps.
That's the
when,
idea, at least. It doesn't always work that way.
The
but-
idea is just to knock them all over until Russia and China are shambles.
Yeah, how's that working?
Yeah, it's
I
worked
mean,
so fucking well
yeah.
over the last 73 years, I think.
Mhm.
So their approach with Indonesia is we're going to, one, influence their elections as best we can, shit out a lot, and two, shit out a lot of propaganda so that it pushes them away from being on Team Russia-China. So, in 1955, the CIA spends $1 million
Oh, Jesus.
to turn the Indonesian election meter away from the left, away from the communist side, and it doesn't work.
No.
The commies still win by with over 6 million fucking votes. And in the 60s, there's actually this big push by JFK to, and I quote, liquidate Sukarno.
Ooh, whoa, ooh, that should have been written down.
Yeah, I
Ooh.
know. So, Moscow knows that the U.S. is going to start pushing. Because, I mean, the KGB fucking knows everything.
Yeah, they
And-
literally had moles within the department in the FBI to identify moles within the FBI. Holy shit, we really fucked that one up. And
Grand.
and the CIA was probably working with them.
Oh,
Because-
easily.
Why? What the fuck is up with the CIA? They're just their own thing, doing
They're-
their own thing.
They are like, they all stack up at night and they become like a mad scientist. Like, that's their fun. They're like the
Yeah.
Power Rangers, and they all stand
Yeah.
on top of each other and become this giant, evil, fucking Hitler-esque monster. It's Fucking awful.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, CIA doing their damnedest to influence Indonesia away from communism.
Meanwhile,
but-
the CIA is utilizing their resources to grow cocaine. I don't know.
Right. And the KGB is just like, yeah, we're fine. Like,
Yeah, the KGB's like, okay,
it's
we
the
know
red
what you're
wave
gonna do.
is,
It's not
is
working.
working on its own. Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah.
So, Sukarno he's known for being a bit of a ladies' man. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
In the 1940s, when he was in Japan, his wife divorced him because he was constantly asking her to be polygamist with him. And she's like, I'm not going to fucking do that. And she files for divorce. They part ways. This dude.
Damn, I can't
he
imagine walking up
loves-
to my wife and saying, "Hey, babe, how about we get another wife?" Like, what the fuck?
You know what you do? Let's get another one of those.
Yeah.
God, it's
What the
like,
fuck?
It's so stupid.
So dumb.
So, yeah, she leaves him because she doesn't want to practice polygamy. While he's president of Indonesia, he has 4 legal wives. And then there's a 5th one that for some reason is kept secret, and it's a little bit kept out of the books. I don't know why.
It's like his cousin or something.
Yeah, right. They're like first cousins, and he's like, I just don't want people to know about this.
Yeah.
She's actually a guy. Just it's the 40s. I can't release this yet.
Yeah.
So, he's known as this fucking ladies' man, and people eat it up in Indonesia. It's the 40s. Everyone's like, oh shit,
Whoa.
Sukarno's got all these babe wives,
Wow.
kick ass, and the KGB picks up on this. They're like, okay, like everybody knows that this guy likes his women. All right. So he visits Moscow in the late 50s, and word starts to get out to Indonesians that Sukarno seduces and has an affair with a Russian flight attendant.
Ooh,
hot
he got
stuff.
honeypotted.
Yeah. So a few months go by, and Russia reaches out and says, hey, you should come back to Moscow. We've got, like, we need to have a meeting.
Dude, if anybody during that time period says, "Hey, let's go back to Moscow,"
Fuck no.
you're an idiot if you followed along.
And so Sukarno's like, yeah, for sure. He goes out there, and during his visit, he's picked up by the KGB, and he's taken to a movie theater. And they're not going to watch the newest release of Snow White in color. That's not going to happen.
They're not going to watch the Way of Water.
What the fuck?
Isn't that
Yeah,
what
the new Avatar
The new
movie.
Avatar movie.
Yeah.
They're not going to watch
Yeah,
the Last
KGB,
Duel.
The KGB had their hands on Avatar 2, The Way of the Water in 1958.
Yeah, that's 100% true. It's
confirmed.
It's a conspiracy theory.
It's
James Cameron
in my
actually
notes.
stole it.
It's in my notes
Yeah,
right there. It's
if
true.
you go to the Wikipedia page in the next 10 minutes as of recording, it will be there.
If you're hearing this, it's too late. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Somebody, the KGB edited
They're
it
trying to
out.
keep us
Yeah.
quiet.
James
They don't want you to
Cameron-
know it. James
Cameron's people
is a
edited it.
KGB
Yeah.
agent.
Jesus Christ. So, yeah, he flies back to Moscow. KGB picks him up, puts him in a movie theater, and they play a very intriguing movie starring Sukarno and the
Steward.
the sharing actress is the stewardess. Yeah. So they fucking honeypot him and record him having sex with this stewardess on the flight. Sit him down, and they're just standing behind him with their arms folded. They're like,
Ooh, we got him.
so you decide to leave communism. This goes out to everyone. And Sukarno's sitting there speechless. He doesn't say a word.
He's like, damn, that dude on that video looks good.
Like, yo, that film roll makes my dick look 20% bigger.
Hell yeah.
I don't know what you guys are doing in Russia, but your editing is
Yeah,
impeccable.
your post-processing. Woo! God damn.
Those shadow effects.
Yeah.
So
The
Sukarno-
reverb was added just perfectly. The perfect moments.
So he turns around to the KGB agents and he says, how can I get 100 more copies of this?
Power move.
And they're like, wait, what? And he's like, this is amazing. I have so many people back in Indonesia that would love to see this.
That would love to see me hooking up with this lady.
Yeah. And
Crazy.
people are fucking crazy about this dude and his sexual
His
prowess
antics?
or something, I
Oh,
guess.
It's so weird.
And so he's
Like a personality cult.
Yeah, I know.
It's like Jared Leto today.
It really is.
Ugh.
Oh God, Indonesian Jared Leto.
Yeah.
So KGB's kind of left. They're like, what the fuck do we do now? We just turn this whole mission, and it's only benefiting him further. It's making the people love him even more. And our blackmail didn't work for shit. Our honeypot worked.
It worked
But-
a little too well.
Yeah, too well. So they send him back home, and they're like, well, I mean, I guess we'll figure something else
Yeah,
out.
I guess it's in the mail. Package in the mail.
Yeah, word gets out in Indonesia, and people are like, fuck yes,
Hell
Sukarno.
yeah.
And
You showed them.
the CIA actually gets word that the KGB failed in their blackmail attempt, and they're like, oh, okay. And they run with it. The CIA is like, hey, Russia tried to blackmail Sukarno with this porn stuff. Everybody find out. Everyone needs to know.
Because that's
Fuck
more
Russia. Yeah.
pro American propaganda.
Yeah. So what happens instead of trying to take the same approach as blackmailing him, they just dump on the Russians.
Hell
And
yeah.
it works out pretty well. You start to get some of these resistance groups that are like, hey, fuck this guy in power. We want U.S. democracy for some fucking reason. And the U.S. begins to supply thousands of rebels with weapons. They're dropping them out of, quote-unquote, decommissioned B-26s.
Oh, my God.
And through most of 1958, the CIA is just supplying weapons, supplies, and intel to the rebels like crazy. Because they're like, we're not fully involved in this. Nobody really knows our involvement other than the fact that we're pushing this like anti-Russian propaganda, which Russia did a damn fine job of creating this propaganda
for
in the first
themselves.
place. So in 1958, they go as far as doing like bombing runs under the guise of like, oh, it's the rebels. And one of the planes gets shot down, crashes, and they find a good old CIA agent flying it. Indonesia puts two and two together, and the U.S.-backed rebellion crumbles. It's fucking over with like
Damn.
one crashed plane. Now, if one sex story and a massive amount of U.S.-led rebels can almost bring down Indonesia, imagine if the CIA makes a bigger and sexier story.
All right.
It only makes sense.
Like, so they send a honeypot, have them
Yeah.
2 honeypots, have them
3.
sleep with 3.
4.
Yeah, and the entire airplane is just stewardesses.
The worst is
And
that
it's Austin Powers airplane, and they film it.
it's just an airplane.
They're just
and
trying
it's
to make porn for
lined.
themselves
Everything
at this
is
point.
lined with fucking shag rug everywhere.
And it's all Scotch guarded. It just reeks of Scotch guard.
It's so fucking stupid because they're like, hey, our whole rebellion push is going to be anti-Russian for what they did honeypotting them. And then they fuck up their own operation and they're like, okay, maybe Russia did it right. Let's give this a shot.
Yeah, it didn't work for them, but it will work for us.
But we're red-blooded.
Yeah.
We're not that kind of red-blooded Americans, but we're red-blooded
We're
Americans.
red,
but
white,
not,
and blue-blooded Americans.
but not red commie. Not commie red. Totally
No,
different.
blood
things.
red, American
Yeah,
red.
crimson.
Crimson.
But not crimson. We call it red in America.
Yeah, it's God. That's
so
like
fucking stupid.
God. That is such a good example of like American exceptionalism.
It really
Really, it's like didn't work for them. It'll work for us.
But it'll work this time.
Jesus.
So they find out through all of their years involved in Indonesian politics. Through research, they find out
Yeah.
that in Indonesia, there's an effective way to use sex against this guy. There's only one way that they're going to be able to do this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's talking to their rebels. I mean, they read a couple books on it.
Yeah.
So, it's frowned upon in Indonesia at the time if Sukarno is deceived, tricked, or outsmarted by a woman into having sex with her. That's the only way that the U.S. is like, this is how sex is going to work, is if a woman is smarter than him. Which still sounds like the most American stupid fucking approach to this honeypot.
It sounds like somebody was whoever they were getting their information from was just lying to them and making it up. Like, tell them that the woman has to be smarter. It's a KGB agent.
It's a KGB agent that was in the failed experiment. He's like, oh, fuck these guys. Tell them that it's because a woman was smarter and decided and wanted to have sex with them.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
What a stupid fucking approach.
So weird.
So the CIA sits down and they're like, okay, we've got to
get a smart woman. That'll be the day.
That works for the CIA. So instead of creating their own thing, they reach out to LA and they get every fucking porno that's on record.
Oh my God.
And watch through all of them.
What a job. What a job.
To try to find somebody that
honey.
looks like Sukarno. That's it. That's all that this is about. This is just finding a lookalike in currently released U.S. porn.
How many U.S. porn stars were Indonesian? I gotta say, that number has to be
I guarantee
low.
all that they're... So, in their thing, they were like, we're looking for someone that's brown-skinned and bald. That's all that they fucking listed.
No, they'll just release it in black and white. So they'll just put some bronzer on them.
Honestly, the new tradition here at Pressure Points is episode 1 is interesting and unusual deaths, and episode 2 is shitting on how stupid the fucking CIA is.
It really sets the tone of what our podcast is for the new listeners.
So yeah, these dudes are sitting down watching
so much porn, and they're staring at the men. They come home.
At the men's face.
Yeah, at the men's face. They come home.
imagine?
They take off their hat. They take off their jacket. Their wife hands them the martini. They down it, and she's like, "Oh, busy day at work."
They have to take off
their
their
condom.
condom.
Rough day at work.
They've got to unroll the condom. The company issued
the CIA issued condom.
CIA stamped condom.
No, it's a condom, but it has a collection bag in the bottom. It's like a Stadium Pal, like urinal, like a condom catheter. It's reusable. It's more economical.
It came with a trapper keeper. Jesus
so good.
Christ. So, yeah, they watched through.
So they watched
hours
of
all
porn.
of the American-made porn, trying to find somebody that looks like him. Nobody finds anyone. Like, they didn't have any guys that were brown and bald in porn up to 1960, pretty much. My guess is that the reason they weren't able to find anyone that looked like him is because all of the CIA operatives were a little bit fucking distracted watching hours and hours of porn all fucking day.
No.
Yeah, a little bit hard to recognize and see if somebody matches the description you're looking for when you're busy staring at penetration and tits. Like, come on. So,
was that a bald guy? No, that was just a circumcised penis.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, thank God.
That's close. I can't believe I looked at that. Let me rewind just to check.
Just to make sure.
So, the CIA reaches out to LA or Hollywood, more or less. They get a really good effects artist.
Get a makeup artist, get an effects artist.
Get an effects artist, a makeup artist, and they reach out to someone that can create a realistic-looking mask.
No, they're gonna do the mask. What the
think
fuck?
Think about all of
I've
the
seen like cutting edge 1950s special effects masks. They look like shit.
I know.
Shit
It's
that was
because
better 20 years later with like The Thing.
The best is that
Holy
I know
shit.
you've been watching Mystery Science 3000.
Yeah.
Mystery Science Theater 3000 or whatever. These are the fucking movies that you're watching, except they would also have boobs in them. Like, it's
so
the same
bad.
fucking
it's so
thing.
terrible.
Oh, so they reach out to somebody to make a mask, and they do. So they get a studio going, and they get to filming. They have their actress. They have a brown actor that can wear
has
a
a
bald
mask
cap
and a bald
with
cap.
face that looks like Sukarno.
It's a slightly melted version.
It's Sukarno, but with fucking Nixon jowls
Yeah.
and Billy Joel eyes.
Yeah, like his eyes are gonna be a different color.
Oh, they'll shoot it in black and white. It's fine.
Yeah, they're fine. It's fine.
Oh, so the best part is that they call this porno Happy Days, which I don't know if you know anything about American media, but the Happy Days that they're filming is not the one that stars the Fonz, Henry Winkler,
No.
or Ron Howard as a child. Two totally different things,
Totally
I promise.
different.
Thank God. Now, ultimately, the recording goes fucking terribly
No.
because I can't imagine that the CIA knows how to shoot a proper porno. Just my assumption here in the 50s. So they can't get it to look right at all because
No.
your starring actor is wearing a fucking mask and having sex with somebody at the same
It's
time.
got to be distracting.
So they end up just taking pictures during the whole process.
God.
My assumption is that it was for their reporting, and then they released the video, and the head of the CIA is like,
Ooh.
This
I
is-
can't
this
I
is-
can't jack off
yeah,
to
J.
this.
J. Edgar's like, why are there so few men in this?
Yeah. You didn't make this masculine enough.
Why isn't she having sex with 5 guys? And why aren't they touching tips to one
And
another?
why can't I see her? Why can't I see her face?
Why isn't he white? God, J. Edgar, fuck you.
Fuck you.
So, they take a bunch of pictures, and they decide not to release the footage. Also, they realize, how the fuck are you going to release footage to Indonesia when there's not, like, you're going to put it in theaters?
Yeah.
This is the 50s.
Like how many of them have a TV set that can run a VHS?
Can't even
I
have
don't-
VHS
No,
at
it's
that
not even.
point.
No, they didn't. But like,
It was just broadcast TV.
Yeah,
or
like,
literal
are they-
fucking reels that
Yeah,
you would
exactly,
put on a
like-
projector.
movie theater or radio?
I'm Sukarno.
I'm Sukarno. You're Sukarno. I'm smarter than you.
I'm a
2
white.
plus 2 equals 4.
I'm a white American that seduced you.
I
Not the other
seduced
way
you.
around.
You didn't seduce me. It's embarrassing.
So
But they're not
bad.
speaking
Yeah.
Indonesian. They're speaking
No,
English.
they are, but it's all with a really bad English accent.
It's like they're reading it. They're reading
Yeah.
it in common and just
And this
standard
guy has
English.
cue cards.
Yeah, there's a
that's
cue
there.
card.
In one of the pictures, you can see
You
it.
can see the cue cards on the ground stacking up.
just says
Just in corner.
UNGH.
UNGH ...
And then he just lifts it and puts it back down. Yeah. So they realize that there's no effective way of fucking spreading this media that they worked
Yeah,
so
what the
hard to
fuck?
create.
I like that they could have thought of that before.
And so they go, all right, fuck it. We'll just release the pictures and fucking more or less just air raid over and fucking throw them out the window of the plane. So the operation fails fucking miserable.
No
worse.
way.
It went worse than the KGB one that they were like, we can do this but better.
And they
No,
fucked it up. They
it's
over-engineered
fucking
it and
terrible.
fucked it up.
Yeah, they worked so
Like,
hard
why
to
not
make
just get
trash.
somebody who has, like a similar skin tone and then just don't show his face?
Well, that's what they ended up trying to do, but it was still so shitty. Like, they literally cut the dude's face out
Oh my
because
God.
my guess is you could see
The
like
the,
the loose
the
mask.
neckline.
I just imagine it being like one of those rubber like
Yeah,
Nixon
yeah.
face
It's like
masks.
a what's that called? Party.
yeah.
It's a Party City mask.
Yeah. So it doesn't fucking work out, and they end up getting MI6 involved in 1967 to overthrow Sukarno and replace him with a guy named Suharto. And Suharto actually goes on, and this will be maybe my next episode, but the guy they put in power, Suharto, ends up just going on a fucking genocide of communists.
Hell
so
yeah.
the fucking porn star president, man.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Like,
The
how...
stupidest Cold
Yeah,
War
how would
story.
you even be able to distribute it?
Exactly. You can't just throw it up in theaters. Like,
Yeah.
what's your production company? Not the CIA? Like, what the fuck?
Why were you filming it in the first place?
Yeah. And even then, honestly, I bet they shot it so that it was like he's supposed to come off as like being this porn star. Like Suharno was hired to be a porn star in America, and that's their approach.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, look at how fucking dumb he was. See how
Wow,
stupid he
look,
was. Look, he's having sex with this
stupid.
lady on camera, even though he's like,
Wow.
can I get those Russian videos of me having sex with someone on camera? Like,
Yeah, I want to send
what
them
the
to my
fuck?
friends.
How is this ever going to benefit? Like, how is this ever going to work out for you guys?
That's crazy.
It's so stupid. But the best Cold War story we've had so far.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think it's yeah.
Good old CIA.
How good old CIA. We need more CIA trying to overthrow.
The only thing that'll
other
ever
countries.
shut us down will be one of us dying or the CIA. That's
Yeah.
the only way that this is gonna
Come get me.
The pressure points ends.
Yeah. So if we get shut down, it's not because we
Yeah.
died. It's the CIA, and you should send us money.
Yeah,
You don't know our address,
you should
but
subscribe
to
on
the. If we
Patreon.
go quiet, subscribe to the Patreon forever. No, that's fantastic.
Oh shit!
I've heard of that. Like it struck a bell. Like I must have read it in passing. The getting honeypotted
It's so fucking.
and then asking
stupid.
for
I
the
love it.
tapes. It's so good. Like what a power move against the KGB.
Seriously. Oh god. All right.
Fantastic
Well,
work.
if you guys would like an extra episode of this bullshit every month, check us out on Patreon. Links below. AJ has a really cool series, Voices. that
Still working on that
he's
same
working
one that
on.
I was doing last
Yeah.
week.
Hey, it's
Making
all good.
progress.
You had a rough week. You're in school.
Yeah, it's making progress. though. It's
We've
going
also
well.
got a bunch of little like mini episodes called Sloppy Seconds. And if you'd like to subscribe, you can see the studio before it's a dumpster fire or before it's under construction. So yeah.
Before it's under
Yeah,
construction.
there's the video of our studio.
It wasn't. What do you mean?
Before everything was in here. Before I fucking lived in the studio
Oh,
for
yeah.
like a month.
Sorry, I was very
Oh,
confused.
you good. But yeah, you got the names.
Sorry, I gotta clear my throat. Oh yeah, and we never say this, but like, lowest tier, $4.20.
Oh yeah, true.
So it's not too bad if you can. If you can't, totally understandable, no
Yeah,
problem.
If you can't afford it, don't do it.
Yeah, obviously, very good. But of course, we have the chair people, the chair persons.
Yeah.
They kind of make they make the decisions around here. We've got Mini D, Nordic Thunder, and Toddle Waddle. So thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
It's a thankless job, except when we thank you at the end of every episode. But
yeah.
thanks for helping us keep the lights on. You guys make
Yeah,
up the
man.
bulk. And of course, we've got Abby, AJ's Third Nut, Thomas, Dark Runner, D's Nuts, and Laura Revo. Thank you guys so much for
Yeah, we appreciate you.
for helping us, sticking around, sticking with us.
Yeah, supporting us,
Yeah.
listening to our shit,
Listening, supporting us, messaging us,
liking us for some fucking
Liking
reason,
us,
but thank you.
being nice, cool
Yeah,
bros.
you guys are the best. We
Hell yeah.
appreciate you. And as always, if you ever have any show ideas, music, movies, TV shows, books, fucking articles you think are hilarious, you want to send a meme, you need somebody to talk to, by all means, reach out to us on Instagram at pointsopressure or send us an email at ppdnaj@gmail.com. And we'll catch you guys next Monday.
Wait, how do I?